Coming up on this week's edition of Speed Chronicles, it's another busy week.
SIG Media presents Speed Chronicles with Todd Lewis, powered by Rev TV.
Thanks for tuning in and checking out this week's edition of Speed Chronicles. We appreciate it. Please make sure you follow on all the social channels and, of course, hit that like and subscribe button. Lot of great interaction, reaction, comments, questions about last week's show. We had a huge number for engagement. We really appreciate the thoughtful questions and comments that you sent along. It's been a busy week, let's just say, with the announcement a week ago that the Toronto Indy is now moving to Markham, and that's where it's headed in the future ahead. That's going to be a topic for a long time to come, like in fact right up through until next August, when we do realize the first race date of the Ontario Honda Dealers Indy Markham. There's going to be a lot of stories and information that come out over the next little while too, about the course, about the plans to get it ready, and how that's going to happen. You've seen mock-ups perhaps of where the grandstands are going to be situated, how the tickets are going to be dispersed, how those who had tickets previously are going to be accommodated, what are going to be the parameters around public transit and getting there. So there's a lot to get into. I was almost expecting to see the IndyCar schedule by now, based on the info I got last week, that it should be out early this week. I'm recording Tuesday this week, so we'll see if it shows up, but haven't seen it yet. There was a lot of last-minute massaging that was going on. So we'll see. There's still a lot of questions and discussion about the Toronto week as well. Moving a race that big, there's hesitancy in terms of something new. Anytime it changes, you have to bring people along, and sometimes that can be challenging because they get, I don't want to say stuck in their ways, but they get into a comfort zone. It's just, this is what happens. This is what happens every year when I go there. This is where I stay. These are the restaurants I like to go see. And I get that. And moving as far away as you do, a lot of that is going to change. So there's going to have to be a new routine established. When you're changing something after 40 years, it takes a while. Is it going to be perfect first year? No. But hopefully there's something to build on going forward. There will be more IndyCar news ahead. As I mentioned, we can't wait for the schedule to come out. I don't want to speculate on it until we actually see it, because we've done enough of that. In the meantime, we can get into some Formula One talk because they had an interesting race last weekend. There's lots of NASCAR drama that's going on. NASCAR Canada is back in action this weekend. They've got a doubleheader at Delaware Speedway, 2 points races. It's funny with NASCAR Canada. There's still a quarter of the season to go. But in about 10 days, it's all going to be over. The season will be over because doubleheader this weekend, and then the week immediately following is at the Autodrome Montmagny. So it's going to happen quickly. I know we really don't talk a lot about results specifically on this program, but how about that win for Max Verstappen and Red Bull last week? That was pretty impressive. Got the lead off the start, had to give it back, fought, got the lead back, stayed out in front, really didn't have much of a challenge through the entire race, was kind of driving one hand on the wheel. He wasn't literally, but he really didn't face a lot of heat and a lot of pressure. Biggest talk about the race was with the McLaren drivers, and understandably so. Lando Norris ran second most of the race. He was followed by Oscar Piastri. When they made their pit stops very late in the race, the team bungled the stop for Lando Norris. And it wound up putting him behind Oscar Piastri. It was that slow. They stayed that way until the team orders came over the radio, which said, Oscar, let Lando by. And Oscar Piastri allowed Lando Norris to retake second position ahead of them, and that's the way they finished on the podium. I can see the argument of why some would get upset. In fact, I can see the argument both ways. That should have let them be. This is how it played out. And I can also see, you know what, Lando really had the second best car. He was out front of Piastri all day long. Piastri couldn't really mount a challenge on him. They should have flip-flopped them. I can see the argument both ways. You want your drivers to race each other. I give you that. Don't pit them against each other, though. If you let a mistake by the pit crew, the guy with the left front wheel gun, affect the dynamic between the drivers, as long as they believe they're being treated equally, then I think they're going to be okay. Lando Norris led. He was in second place ahead of Piastri the whole race. Only reason it was behind, because of a malfunction on the pit stop. It was the right call, I believe, by the team to say, guys, flip-flop positions. I think it was made easier by where they stand in the overall championship. Oscar Piastri's got himself a pretty healthy lead. What if the week before Lando Norris didn't have his engine go poof and have to retire from the race and give Piastri that big, comfortable lead, or certainly more comfortable lead? What if they were a lot closer in points? Would you feel the same way? Probably think I would. It would just be a bit of a tougher call. But I think they made the right decision in flip-flopping, having Norris finish second and Oscar Piastri finish third. He remains out in front in the overall championship. Okay, let's talk a little bit NASCAR. First up, Connor Zilich. He won again in the Xfinity soon-to-be O'Reilly Series. He is on an unbelievable heater right now. I mean, he's survived a back injury. He's survived a slip and fall on the car and trying to celebrate a victory and wound up missing some time. But he is something special. I have talked a lot about him because I believe he's worthy of a lot of talk, and I believe he's worthy of a lot of attention. If you are looking for a driver to cheer for and to follow for years to come, he's the one. He's the choice. The level of achievement is amazing so far, and he hasn't even made it to the Cup Series yet full time. Not saying he's going to win as much, because the series and racing and NASCAR is very different right now, but he's got the potential to be another Jeff Gordon, the way Jeff Gordon came in 30-something years ago. It took Gordon a couple of months to win his first race. Once he started, he barely stopped for a long time. Scored his first Cup Series championship in his third year. I can see a similar path for Connor Zilich going forward. I think the competition overall is much tougher now, and it might take him a little longer to win that championship. And of course, the way you win championships is very different now. But he's just turned 19. He's got a huge upside still. Not saying he's going to win as many races, not saying he's going to win as many championships, but there is certainly the potential to do that. He's good. He's really, really good. Right now, it's old man Denny who is making all the waves in NASCAR. Scored his 5th victory of the season. That's 5 wins in a season, which is an awful lot for any driver. But how about for one that's 44 years old? That's almost unheard of. Is he the favorite for the championship? I guess so right now. Have to think so. It's a remarkable achievement what he has been able to do this year, considering he hasn't won a championship throughout his career. You were kind of wondering if that opportunity had passed. How good was his team going to be this year? How much of a threat was he considered to win the title at the start of the season? He is getting the job done. You think FedEx is maybe a little perturbed that they bailed on that primary sponsorship on that car not that long ago? Oh my gosh, now Denny's going to win a championship and we aren't on that car anymore. But he's doing it, achieving at a high level, winning races, putting himself in position to win races, and he's doing this as part owner of 2311 Racing, which of course is involved in that massive knockdown, drag him out, fight to the death, Thunderdome kind of lawsuit that's going on with NASCAR right now. You can't tell me that something that big isn't a distraction. Full credit to Hamlin, though. He's able to compartmentalize that as his Monday to Friday job, if you will, and when he gets to the racetrack on the weekend, he is all business. He is focused on driving that car, improving that car, and making it better all weekend long. That's a credit to him. He's not going to be in that car for much longer. Signed a 2-year contract extension. That's going to be the end of the road. But this might be his best chance to win a championship. And, of course, just think about that a couple of months from now. If Denny Hamlin goes on and wins a championship, if it plays out this way, NASCAR Awards is a big deal. There's big celebrations, big ceremonies, and it's a big presentation. If it's Denny Hamlin that wins that championship for the first time in his career, gets all that attention, just think of the awkward family photo moment that is going to take place as he receives that championship trophy and presentation as part of the NASCAR Cup Series award ceremony that they make such a big deal about. The Oscars of the NASCARs, if you will. In the midst of a multi-million-dollar suit. Trial doesn't happen till December. They may throw the trophy at him and just walk off. They don't want to be involved in any photos or anything like that. If that happens, this lawsuit is threatening to change the whole way NASCAR operates. Yeah, Denny, here's your trophy. Here's your check. Moving along. Nothing more to see here. I don't think that would happen, but it's kind of funny to think about. It is a big NASCAR weekend ahead. Cup, Xfinity, soon to be O'Reilly, the trucks, they are all at Bristol this weekend. Shout out, Trayton Lapsovich just announced that he is going to make his NASCAR Truck Series debut at Bristol. Good for him. Good luck. Hope he does it really well. It hopefully is the first of many. Bristol, always fun. NASCAR Canada Series, as mentioned, at Delaware Speedway this weekend. Let's hope for more cars. We want a better car count than is sort of trending right now. It's good for the championship if there's a better car count, because we want to have a fight for the championship in the final weekend of the season when we go to the Autodrome Montmagny. And those competitors that are trying to catch Marc-Antoine Cameron, they've got to hope that they can gain a little ground this weekend. 2 races, so that's good. A few more cars would certainly be helpful as well as we get set for the NASCAR season finale. That'll wrap up this week's edition of Speed Chronicles. Again, thanks for all the great comments, questions, feedback last week. Keep it coming. Please make sure you follow on the social channels. Hit the like and subscribe button and share it along to family, friends, and others. Have a great week of racing. Do it again next week.